Audio?
Hello.
Is audio right?
I mean, it's got the bars are there. They should hear this conversation right now. Hello.
Hey, I'm proud of us.
Welcome to probably the most popular D&D stream happening right now on the internet. There is nothing else.
As a D&D employee, I can confirm this.
Yeah. I think, and particularly, like, Thursdays are a pretty small D&D day anyways.
It's just us.
Nothing happens on Thursdays.
Yeah,
Nobody else.
I hear people say, like, "Is it Thursday yet?" Because Faeforge is doing the Reclamation project. I think I've heard that. No, but we're super glad you're here. Those of you who are here, and we don't blame you if you have us quiet and you're listening to other D&D stuff. We appreciate you being here. We're gonna tell a good story. And this is the finale, y'all. Can you believe it? I can't.
No.
I'm very excited.
I'm pretty sure we got like 10 more adventures, so...
Yeah. I mean, I know the guy who runs this channel, so we can see. But yeah, why don't y'all say hello to everyone and who you are and who you're playing one last time. B.
Hi all. As the official D&D contracted employee, I am playing Morty and Adam, the fairy rogue bard who's had a wonderful journey making friends, making family, finding gifts, getting gifts, giving gifts, and just generally having a fantastic time, but all while dealing with some internal conflict from the trauma of her past.
F is for friends. Leona.
Hello, I'm Leona, and today I am playing our beloved, oh my goodness, what is she again? She's a warforged, she's a sorcerer, and a cleric. She's a peace cleric. That's the bit I was forgetting. Our clockwork soul, peace cleric sorcerer, all-around precious being who I think had her catharsis last episode and is just so excited to see what happens next.
Prince.
Hey everybody, I'm Prince, also known as Dimples of Dice around these parts. I am playing Drasus, the fighter, blood hunter, who's had quite the adventure. Learned a whole lot about family and finding
You said goodbye
new
to
friends.
your son! Your
I did.
son!
I did.
Ugh.
Now my soul is tied to a sword.
I can't handle that for you. Like, too much.
Chris.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris Geary and I am the GM of this wonderful story that we've gotten to weave together.
One more thing before we get started. Two more things. Thanks to Roll20 for having us a part of their Spotlight program. I can't remember what they renamed it. Sorry, guys.
I don't remember either.
It's in an email somewhere.
Same.
that I did read, but I cannot remember. But for providing us a lot of really cool tools to use for this and our other streams. And last but not least, we have one overarching rule here at the Faeforge Academy, and that is don't speak with words. No,
Okay.
we have one rule.
I
at the
speak with
Faeforge
cats
Academy.
only.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is huge support. Yes, absolutely. No, respect. We respect people's identities, who they are, their race, their gender, all of that stuff, and any form of bigotry that goes against that and is counter to that, we have you removed immediately, because it's just, you don't get second chances on that stuff. If you think to yourself as you're typing into that little chat box, I wonder if this would be offensive to someone, just delete it. Just delete it. There's no reason to take a risk to hurt someone's feelings for a joke. And with that, Chris, it's over to you.
All right. We return once more for at least the last time of this story to the Eightfold Forge as we watch the four Morticia, Andrasus, and Cairo and
Kiro?
Kiro, yes, and Sunflower board the airship with the siblings and the captain, but saying goodbye to Brina, who has decided to stay behind as she feels her place and her destiny is tied to this particular place. Accompanying you all, actually, will be two of the soulbound Goliaths. They have been attached as guards to the two siblings due to an ancient duty between the Nephilim Syndicate and the order in which the siblings hail from. As you all take off and head on to new destinations, I have two questions. Where do we find your character aboard the ship? And what, I don't know if it's memory or experience or whatever the case may be, but what is it that they are taking with them as they head forward from this place?
So we find Morticia on the poop deck. I think that's what it is. I don't know where it is. I just really like the name. Probably with like a really poorly fashioned fishing rod, which is just like a stick they found between like the space from the forge and the boat. I don't know what the terrain was like, but there was a stick. She found some string and just like there's nothing on the end of the string. So she's just kind of got her little feet between the one of the side of the boat fishing. I don't know boat words, and kicking her little legs, just like humming a little song, talking to Adam every now and then. And the takeaway from this experience, you know, she's kind of sitting and thinking back about the past couple hours and like never mind the combat, the friendships that she was able to forge, the solidified relationships. I don't think Morty's ever had these kind of bonding moments with other people who haven't eventually rejected her or just died. A lot of the people that she's got close with have just died. And that makes, you know, the whole sword thing with the sun a little bit more palpable. But nonetheless, Morty's just feeling like a little giddy and a little nostalgic.
I dig it. And just so you know, the poop deck is the raised, open, exposed part of the deck toward the back of the ship, where
Awesome.
typically you find the steering wheel and all that stuff, which I'm assuming that she would be trying at some point trying to
Keeping
commandeer.
an eye out. Like,
Yeah.
Turn up. Yeah, okay. We'll keep fishing.
I think Kiro will spend a lot of time doing reflective gazing into the distance. But then probably will go at different points to each of his friends, which I think would be an interest. I imagine that the first part of this trip on the ship is him coming to grips with the fact that he has friends on purpose.
Yeah.
And then going to each of them, but I think particularly Dracis would sort of sit down next to him and be like, so it's been a while since I've been alive. What would you do with a second chance?
And I'm sorry, you're asking Morty?
Drasus.
Justice.
That's an interesting question. I try to do everything that I ever wanted to do. Because at this point, who's gonna stop you?
I guess.
I don't mean go and, mess people up, but I mean just enjoy life. Because here's the thing that makes it easier to enjoy. It's finite.
I don't like that word. Makes me uncomfortable.
No, that's what makes it more enjoyable, though. Think about it. When you know that you can do something in perpetuity forever, it loses its luster.
I guess you're not wrong.
But you enjoy every little thing, every experience, and even the bad ones that leave scars on you. You cherish those too because they matter. They help mold you into who you are. So all that time you were dead, that matters.
I suppose that's true. When we get back to Riverheart or Civilization, wherever, I don't know where this boat is actually going. But would you just think on this? But one, I'd like to go to a play. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but if you'd want to come with me, that'd be nice. And then, how do you feel about hunting demons?
Hell yes.
Cool. Let's if you want to do that with me, I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because I think this Oros fellow that I made a deal with a long time ago, I don't think I'm the only one he's done that with. And, I'd like to stop as many as I can. Seems like that's the right thing to do after I took advantage of so many people. And just maybe kill a demon, go see a play, kill a demon, maybe go to a musical. I don't know. Just kind of balance it out.
I'm gonna have to show you some more interesting contests of skills, perhaps. But sure, yeah. Maybe some log throwing, axe throwing, knife throwing, people throwing, gnome punting. Wait, you don't actually punt the gnomes. They're like little ceramic things.
So you teach me the less civilized ways of having fun, and I'll teach you about culture.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm sure the great grandkids would love that.
Wonderful. That's all I got for Kiro.
Yeah. And where is it that Kiro found Drasus on the ship?
Oh, I'd be on the bow.
Okay.
Like right at the front. And I think the thing would be is if Kiro comes here to just gaze, you'd find Drasus here pretty often.
So we've got kind of like a bromance Titanic moment going on.
Yeah.
Love it.
Drasus is holding Kiro as Kiro is on the end of the ship.
I'm the king of the living.
So, Sunflower, where is it that we find you?
Oh, goodness gracious. I think Sunflower is probably just processing everything that just happened to her, considering kind of having to deal with Ophelia going a bit rogue and Ophelia being the other half of herself and all of that, and having all of her memories back and knowing where she comes from and how she came to be like this, I think it's a lot. I think she too is much like Hero, kind of standing on a railing and standing by a railing, not on a railing, and very much kind of staring out at the horizon. It's like seeing the horizon for the first. The way I'm gonna describe it is the first time I ever wore glasses. After like the first time I need to put on glasses, and I put them on, and all of a sudden the world was in high definition. I went, wait, this is what seeing is really like? I mean, I've been missing all these details this whole time. And it's very much that sort of experience where the Sunflower is looking at the world through new lenses, I think. And she's making sense of her past and her present, and she's trying to figure out her future. But she knows she's surrounded by the right people, so no matter where she goes, it'll be okay.
Love it. And has Sunflower decided what name she wishes to go by? Does she wish to keep the moniker of Sunflower?
She does.
Mm.
She is Sunflower now. And
Good.
Sunflower is who she will always be. Ophelia almost feels like a middle name to her now.
Hmm.
Sunflower, Ophelia, something, perhaps.
Love it. Morty, you find, or you feel, I guess as much as anyone would, Adam's hand on your shoulder.
Oh, Adam, I think I finished my new song. Are you ready? I composed it the whole time I was sitting here on the poop deck. I mean, what a better place to think of a song. And, you know, I was remembering everything we've done, all of our experiences, and our friends. Okay, Adam, this is gonna blow your shadowy little mind. There once was a fae who said, hey, hey, and she was afraid of the shadows, nay, nay. So the darkness and the memories felt like decay. So she stayed far, far, far away. But this fae is gonna be okay because she has friends who will stay. This fae is gonna be okay because she finally has friends who are gonna stay. And then Morty starts to cry.
And Adam wraps her up in a shadowy hug.
Thank you. I think I'm doing this right.
You are.
What now?
Well, what do you think about the order that the giant mentioned?
Oh, and she looks over at the crossbow that she brought with her. Oh, yeah. You know, I don't think a whole lot about responsibility. The most responsible thing I've done in weeks was just write a song. Yeah, okay. Will you help me attune it? I'm gonna make it mine, like my friends.
And Adam will hold your hand as you pick up the crossbow and sit with it. That feeling of loneliness, of abandonment, it starts to swell. And like some of the experiences that Morticia has had when it's come to elements of death and fear, because fear is often accompanies death.
Mhm.
There's the almost imperceptible whispers at the margins of their mind, and they allow those types of things allow for the person to project some of the worst, some of the most hurtful, some of the things that they try to avoid with all of their being, because it's basically how we fill in the gaps when we're afraid.
Mhm.
We assume the worst. And what are some of those whispers saying right now to Morticia?
Everybody hates you. Everyone you've ever cared about just dies. You just collect souls because when they're alive, they don't want to be around you. Nobody likes you. You should just fly away and disappear forever. Become a shadow so nobody will ever remember you.
How does that affect Morticia as those doubts, those fears, those thoughts creep in?
While clutching the crossbow, at first it's just a head shake, and her little
Mhm.
pom-poms on her head kind of shake with her. And then as those whispers really start to kind of penetrate the corners of her brain that she's tried to ignore, she starts talking aloud, as she often does, to Adam. No, 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 no. I have friends. These friends are gonna stay. Hey, hey, this Fae is gonna be okay. This Fae is gonna be okay. This Fae is gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. My friends are real, right, Adam? They're not gonna die and leave me like everybody has.
And you feel Adam squeeze your shoulder. And it's about this time that across the winds, the three of you, Sunflower, Drassus, and Vincent, Kiro, you hear this soft, vulnerable pixie voice singing this song, a little offbeat.
Hey, hey, this Fae is gonna be okay. Hey, hey, this Fae is gonna be okay. Hey, hey, because she finally has friends who will stay.
I think Sunflower hears that, and it brings her back from her thoughts, and she kind of sees Morticia over there, and she goes and she'll sit next to Morty and place a hand on Morty's back.
Finger.
And Morticia,
like a finger.
Yeah, how it appears for you is like it's this space within a space. Like the real world around you is kind of there, but you're also kind of not there, which is not uncommon for Fae, as you the traveling between this world and the Feywild. There is that transition space, which is a similar feeling sometimes, though you're not traveling between them. It's the closest way you can feel in this moment, that you're kind of in reality but also adjacent to it.
Okay. Do I feel Sunflower's presence?
Mm-hmm.
And a similar question: do I see anything happening to Morty?
No, from your perspective, everything looks the same.
Drassus will also show up here. And Drassus would wait till Morty notices him be it through shadow, looming, or whatever,
Mhm.
because he's not going to just like sneak up and touch someone as dangerous as Morty.
There's a certain level to bravery that to Sunflower, a certain level of bravery to Sunflower that not all mortals have.
Bravery or stupidity? I mean, she is a construct, so I mean, she's kind of like, but she stabs.
I
It's
can
all
always
right.
be repaired.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, that looming shadow is a great way for Drasus's presence to appear.
Remind me, did the leaf clip that you found you had to use or get rid of, correct?
I had to sacrifice it, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Release the spirit. And like that itself, oof.
Which was your last family member who had stayed with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Last remnant of my past that I'd clung to for so long.
Which I don't know that Kiro would necessarily know that part of it, but would know that was something that she liked, and so Kiro is gonna kind of more behind these two that approach, spend some time using Druidcraft, but then also as he's transitioned from being a warlock to a druid, he's connected into this old Fey magic, and so he has this Fey energy pool essentially from the Balm of the Summer Court, and he's going to start pulling it in. And some of this energy is going to come from him, and some of it's going to come from the Fey energy that is around Morty, and just sort of Druidcraft this leaf that looks as close as possible, and pour as much of that energy into it as he can, and then kind of sneak around and just place it on Morty's like knee or in her hand, anywhere that's kind of unassuming, but where she might notice it, and then just sort of back away.
On the top of her head.
Kiro, if you would like, you can make an Arcana check. And remember how I said that crown that you wear as a necklace feels like it's alive? You could incorporate a leaf from it, because it truly does react as though it is alive. To you.
I would like to do that. Okay. Big old Arcana roll. A 22.
Yes. That would be easily a success to incorporate a leaf from that magic item.
Yeah, and then not say anything, just kind of, I'll sit down next to Sunflower.
And so what position is Morty in as she's clutching the crossbow, the grim crossbow that she was gifted?
Probably sitting like on her knees, and kind of held on to the crossbow. Again, the crossbow, as we've decided, cannon crossbows are much larger than her, or same size. Yeah, it's a mini crossbow.
So she's, basically clutching a pillar.
Yes.
I think that's the thing that kind of gets Drasus over here too, is like seeing her with this new crossbow, singing this song. Drasus is like, little one, Morty.
She doesn't respond at first. There's still the whisper of, this day is gonna be okay, hey. And tears are going down her face. Inside this like liminal space of the Fae and the current, like the physical plane. What in this liminal space? What does Adam look like?
Adam looks, well, three-dimensional in a way that they hadn't before, and they look. Well, let me pose this question to Morty.
Yeah.
who in Morty's past would have served as like a mentor or guide or source of hope and inspiration?
I think a dryad.
So Adam's characteristics are very dryad-esque. Smaller, because they still are a shadow of Morticia, but you know how shadows can grow longer depending on where the light is. Adam is standing probably twice the size of Morticia in this liminal space. Dryad features, kind eyes that are black on black in a way that night, the color of the night sky against a black background looks. And in those pupils and eyes, the stars of the night sky kind of glimmer.
Are you... You've been with me since the beginning, since I lost everything, and now that I've gained some of it back, does that mean you're leaving me?
I can never leave you.
Oh.
I am part of who you are.
As long as I'm not keeping you from anything, not like an important dinner date or, you know?
Yeah, no, Morticia, you have never been an inconvenience to me.
Truly?
Truly.
Not even when I wouldn't give you the souls to eat?
Not even when you wouldn't give me the souls to eat.
I was just playing, you know? Keep away, but I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Your playfulness is one of your most endearing traits.
It's the only way I know how to be, and you've been with me through everything. You validated me. You make me feel like maybe I'm not terrible. I'm not doing terrible things, and that my decisions are okay.
You have been given a heavy burden and it was placed upon you at an extremely young age.
I was this big. This big.
And that isn't easy for anyone. But you kept true to who you were. You did what was asked, but you never lost sight of what is right or wrong. And I know that hurts, to question your actions, even though you knew that they were necessary. You serve a purpose. We serve a purpose.
Oh, Adam. I want to keep serving a purpose. I want to be helpful. I want to help our friends. I want to do good, real good. Not just hide souls and throw them away so they don't have happy endings. I'm better than that. I know I am. I want to inspire. I can make people laugh. I don't know yet if they're laughing at me or if it's my jokes, but it's been really nice.
You want to know how you can tell?
Yes. What's the secret?
Look at their eyes when they laugh.
Do they go red when it's evil?
No. But you can see in their eyes whether it's joy or disdain.
Oh. It's that
Cold
simple?
eyes. Cold eyes will tell you that they're laughing typically at you, for they have no care about what you've said.
Huh.
Warm eyes will tell you that they are laughing because of you, because you bring them joy.
Sunflower has really warm eyes. I don't think she's ever laughed at me. Dresses! time, I think, but he really respects me. I get to sit right next to that horn and shoot my crossbow without even asking sometimes. That's just so kind. And
Yep.
Kiro's a little smelly and can be a little standoffish, but I think he really cares. And when his eyes aren't dead, they glow with the life of the Feywild, and it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think our friends are really nice. I want to continue to help them. Can we do that, Adam? Can we continue?
Yes. I think what you need to do is to believe that you are worthy of friends. To tell those thoughts, those voices that say otherwise, that they are wrong, that they hold no power over you. Can you do that?
I think so. No, I know so. There once was a Fae who said, hey, hey, and she was afraid of the shadows. Nay, nay. The darkness and memories felt like decay. So she once would have stayed far away, but now she stands tall, and they are strong, and they will slay, because this Fae is gonna be okay. The little kitty arms.
It's a beautiful song.
I edited it a little bit. Does it make me sound stronger?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are
I
you
think my friends are gonna like it.
Are you ready to share it with them?
I'm ready.
You will feel Adam's touch again, and the difference from before your interactions with Adam is that Adam was very much an internal or an external sensation. Definitely connected, like you could feel through Adam in some ways with the connection to Shadow that Morticia has had, but not really as like a part of Morticia in the same way.
Okay.
And this time, though, the when Adam grabs your hand, it feels almost as if you are holding your own hand. Like that slight difference. There's this internal resonating of connection that you recognize. And if it hadn't seemed clear previously, Adam's use of we and always being there seems familiar. And the more and more of Adam's actions that you associated as Adam's, you start to see them as your own. Adam will always protect you because Adam is you, and you are strong enough to protect yourself.
Morticia comes back. Not that it looked like she ever left to anybody here. There was just the gentle singing, and with the changed lyrics of how she will slay the darkness, there's a silence that lasts maybe 10 seconds, and we just hear the groaning and the creaking of the ship, some birds overhead. Nothing out of the ordinary until Morticia lets out a little start, and the crossbow clatters a little bit. Oh, everybody's here. Oh gosh, I gotta wipe away my tears. Oh god, tasty tears. Hey, how are my best friends doing? And
good.
she glances
How
bright-eyed at everybody's face in a little like circle.
how are
Well,
you?
first of all, how are you doing?
Oh, we're okay. Adam and I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna be amazing. You, Sunflower, Kiro, Drasus, you've all helped me realize that I'm not terrible. I'm not bad. I'm not evil. Sure, I laugh at the wrong jokes sometimes, and Drasus doesn't always laugh at everything I say, but you all really love and support me, and I want to do the same for you. I want you to be my best friends. I want to go on adventures and help you and do good deeds. I can inspire so many people.
Morticia, you have always been amazing. And Sunflower will cast heroism more so for the narrative effect of the fact that it gives bravery to the other person. Not so much for the hit points, but she'll, because her hand is still on Morty's back, she's just gonna keep that hand there and cast heroism.
I feel like I could do anything.
Because you can. If there was anyone here who could do anything, it's you.
You did kind of help me free my son's soul.
Your son was so cool. Why didn't you end up that cool, Drasus?
You know, and I was just about to do something nice.
Just kidding.
You want to learn how to use that bow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get up here.
And she like lugs it up, clunk on the top of your head.
And made this for you.
Is that a leaf?
Yeah, I know you had to do something with the other one that you had that you like so much, so.
Does this have a part of your soul in it?
I don't think so. I'm still figuring this out though. I'm not sure how my new magic works. It's a little different.
Its stem is even shaped in order to be able to be used as a hair clip.
Oh my goodness. Hero? You have no idea how many arts and crafts we're gonna do now! She says that she's like loading up the crank on top of Drasus's head.
Oh,
Arts and crafts in the middle of violence!
you know what? Drasus has a lot of grandkids. Maybe, that would be a great place for the arts and crafts. You're muted.
Drasus is like shaking his head no, not actively thinking about the fact that Morticia's on his head. No, this is not what I want to necessarily bring about the great grandkids. They might
Holding on for dear life.
actually pick up things and then maybe start shooting things or breaking things or talking to their shadows too. Don't know if that's a good idea.
Talking to shadows just means you're not alone. And with that being said, we were given a whimsy stone. Do we have anything left? Any other whimsy that we have to accomplish? Sunflower, you learned your name. Kiro, you got your heart and your soul back. Drasus, you let go of the soul of your son, and I found friends. What more do we need? And who has the whimsy stone?
I think I do.
And lots of it.
What'd you say? Prince?
Oh, I said ale and lots of it.
Oh,
This one
That
can
does sound
drink
nice.
now and actually enjoy it.
Sunflower will pull the whimsy stone out of her pocket and just hold it in her hand and see if anything happens.
Oh, you're muted,
Oh,
Chris.
you are muted.
As you pull out the whimsy stone, it's actually blank. There's nothing there.
Oh.
And you will take but a moment to blink. And near you, is that same shrouded benefactor.
Hi! We might have broke your stone. We're very sorry.
No, we're not.
Oh,
We're
okay.
sorry.
I'm Sunflower and I. Sunflower is sorry.
I'm sorry.
You did not break a thing. But your journey for that stone is complete. There's no more for it to guide you.
Did you
Oh,
did you know all this would? Who are you?
And the figure will pull back their hood, and you'll see a kind of pale-skinned humanoid of sorts. There's like a greenish tinge to the skin and bright green emerald eyes. Their hair is a vibrant green that kind of shimmers in the light. They have sort of fey-ish pointed ears. My name is Kessazan. I am a herald of Mali.
Like green.
it's a good color.
It suits me.
Why did you care about us? I mean, not to say that I'm not appreciative. I like who I am much
I
more
mean,
than
I
I
think
did.
I'm pretty cool. Maybe,
You're not. No, you're not cool. You're good at what you do.
I think you're cool. She whispers from top of the head.
puts up the hand for the high five.
The herald will smile and say, "If it is not yet apparent to you, it will be. But as I said on our first meeting, the gods are returning. And that means that the mortals must be prepared.
Did we sign
Which
a contract? Are we beholden?
Heroes
I'm
Oh,
not.
shit.
I'm not
must
signing anything.
find their way back to this world."
We're heroes.
Are we? You got the wrong person.
No, you didn't.
No, Drass
We're
is.
the heroes.
Drass is a hero. I guess that means you're our fearless leader. It means I get to make fun of you and ignore your orders.
Leader. Whoa, I'll come up with a really good leader song. Leader, feeder, meter. Ah, this is gonna be good.
Kessazan will reach out their hand towards Sunflower for the stone.
Don't give it to him.
She'll.
Don't give it to him.
Why not?
I don't know. It just seems like a nice thing to have.
For what? We've used it for everything we needed it for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like giving things
Share the
away.
wealth or something.
I don't like giving things away for free.
Forever a businessman, aren't you? She'll have this.
Thank you.
You'll notice that the compass dial reappears in the benefactor's hand, and they close their hand, and when they reopen it, it's gone. It has others to guide.
Okay.
I suspected as much.
But if you remember, that wasn't the only item I shared with you all.
Oh.
Yes, we totally remember.
As I look through my notes.
Oh, it's a
There was that-
tapestry?
The tapestry that, depending on the direction you looked at it, it changed imagery.
I completely forgot about that. Who has the tapestry? Probably Sunflower.
I think Hero.
Oh.
Probably me, because I was the responsible one.
Yes.
Regardless, that item has many secrets yet to be, shall we say, discovered.
So, do we just get to, like, do whatever we want now?
Do we have god powers? I might have misunderstood something.
Trust me, you don't want god powers. That's.
Oh, okay.
You all are free, as you always have been, to do things.
I'd
I
fight a god.
simply gave you
Yes.
a tool to find direction.
I already talked to... Well, we'll talk about this when you leave. No, we don't need gods knowing exactly what we're doing. They have enough power.
Can we contact you if we need to? Mixed benefactor.
You, of course.
Will you be our friend? I'll write a song for you.
I would happily be your friend, Morticia.
Yes. You said your name was Cass? There were other syllables.
Kessazen.
Cass it is.
Kevin.
I want to thank you for restoring the Eightfold Forge.
Those giants have their work cut out for them, but they have our friend Brina. And I think she's going to be the best addition to that syndicate. Are they still a syndicate?
Yes?
I think she's going to be the leader.
It's kind of cool that syndicates are sort of reclaiming that name.
Right? They're not just criminal organizations.
Yeah.
Mm.
Again, I think of the Face Syndicate. Criminals left and right.
Mm-hmm. I ran a syndicate once.
Ooh, I believe it. Well, benefactor, we thank you. You've given us so much. And of course you were so cagey about it, but if that means we have to fight on behalf of the gods, I don't think that's a bad trade. Look at what we've gained. And she gestures at her friends.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Your zest for life. And your power over death are a beautiful combination.
That I will absolutely agree with.
And here we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Oh.
When we return, we will hear about the epilogue of each character as we close out our finale.
Okay, so we will see you all in 5 minutes. back. Chris, it is over to you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for hanging out with us in the finale. I wish for each of you a glimpse into the lives of Kiro and Drasus and Morticia and Sunflower as they head off into the future of Evastria from this point. So I'm just going to go around the overlay, starting with Drasus, unless you all have a different order in which you want to go.
No, but I might just jump in on a couple things that, like, I know y'all
of course.
gonna do.
Of course.
So
Drasus, kick us off.
Drasus's big thing to the group would be to get them to meet his family. Like, he has remaining children. He has like great grandkids and even great grandkids at this point. So he would introduce you to his four children, Gressa, Vatera, Zadir, and Kontin. And he would basically take y'all to a family barbecue, essentially. Y'all are Drasus's part of his family now. And this is like a big thing for him. Is he's gotten out, he's gotten his legs again. He knows he doesn't have a whole lot of time left, and this is welcoming y'all, so that even when he's gone, that the people that y'all meet here will know that you are important to him.
Morty never forgets your family, and for the rest of her 400 years, she visits them every year to sing bawdy bardic songs to the youngest children and teach them a couple of bad habits.
I think
much to Drasus's chagrin at the party, I'm sure Morty is teaching them how to shoot crossbows and
this
play
is
pranks.
A crossbow that's larger than you. Best for the kids.
Yeah.
Your great granddad let me shoot this off the top of his head.
You're about big enough for me to mount it on your horns.
Right?
No, I think Vincent would probably follow in Morty's footsteps and join every year. And he's already so old that, like, he particularly tries to connect with the kids and just is doing that like grandpa thing where, like, is this what the kids like these days? But it's like, oh, that was cool like 2 millennia ago.
Jeez, Kiro, get with the times.
Exactly.
I think, yeah, this would be even a thing that Drasus would be like, nah, man.
Old doddering Drasus. No.
The kids have taught me some new things. I might be slow to catch on, but no, that's not the move.
even Sunflower at these visits is just like, I'm pretty sure at the academy that's not what the kids are doing these days.
That's so
good try,
perfect.
though.
Do y'all go monster hunting, demon hunting? Kiro, Drasus, and then of course, Sunflower and I would follow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes.
Is that a part of like our mission before everybody gets a little too old to fight?
I think that's what Vincent would want. He would want to do as much as he could to try to find his old patron and remove as much power from him as possible. Particularly until Drasus's back was getting a little bit too tight. But yeah.
I suspect this goes after we go to a play that is finds out Drasus has a grandchild that is a stage performer, Perdith. They are an excellent lead in these shows, have a commanding presence. It's one of the things they might have inherited down the family line. But yeah, That would be something that Dracis pretends to not enjoy, but actually is really into. You see Dracis like crying in the theater, like,
Vincent.
no, I sneezed and just.
Vincent's always bringing some like tissue or handkerchiefs. I don't know if there's tissue exists yet. Never has to say anything. Just hands it over.
In our demon hunting, maybe this is like the last hurrah. Morty finally takes you all to the Feywild to take down the criminal ring syndicate of fairies and treants. And it's a hard do, but you know, y'all do take down the syndicate, I think, and make the Feywild a little bit better for it.
It would cross paths with the ruins on the tapestry of the Fey city.
Perfect.
Oh man, I think discovering that there's places on this tapestry that she can see. I think Sunflower's itch to go adventuring is really quite strong, and yeah, she wants to adventure mostly with her friends, but every now and again she'll go off on her own. And one day she's at a market and she's purchasing flowers, and she bumps into someone. She should have seen this looming shadow over her, but she didn't, and lo and behold, Sunflower falls in love. And eventually, once she's kind of done with her adventuring days, I think she returns to the academy to teach, so that she can come and visit Dracis' family, so that she can come and visit Morty as often as Morty wants. Like, she'll hang out with Morty as much as she wants, and Vincent, of course. Like, whatever Vincent, Morty, and Dracis need, she's always there. You know, no matter how far she wanders, she will always come home to these people. And even if she was away and they wrote to her and they were like, "Hey, we need you here now," she'd absolutely drop everything for them. The academy is just a place of comfort, a place to teach, a way of planting something better for the future. I think that means a lot to her. And along her journeys, she's been finding out where Mariposa, the hag, is, the hag that she went to when she was a very greedy woman named Ophelia, who wanted all the wrong things in life. And someday, when Sunflower is ready, eventually, she returns to Mariposa and she kneels before her. She admits that she was wrong. She apologizes. She requests to become human again, to become an old woman and to live out the rest of her days with her love.
A request that would be granted at that time, of course.
Oh, God, the image of having to be around Sunflower's deathbed, Dracis' deathbed. What? Does Kiro have an end?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kiro would do a couple things throughout this time outside of demon hunting and going to family barbecues and doing stuff with the three of you. The first thing he would do is he would go visit his childhood home in Riverheart, the place where he swore originally that nobody was going to have to feel the pain like his family felt. And he would transform that into this like beautiful garden, sort of to honor his parents and say sorry because he lost sight of that for so long. And then for each of you, as he lives a very, very long time, he would, once Dracis was ready to pass on his sword and rest, he would be there by Dracis' side.
I was going to ask you about this, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Dracis his final fight, honestly, would be against your patron. Like that's he wants to do one final thing for you. Because he's not going to go and just lay down and go out on a whimper. Drasus is going
I
out for the
love you
fight,
for
and his family would
that.
never blame him for this or anything. But yeah, it would be fighting your patron that he would. However it ends, do it, be it like I'm exhausted and I just can't get up anymore, or mortal wound is struck on both ends. That would be his end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, go ahead, Chris. Were you about to say something? Oh, yeah. I think with that, at the end of that fight, Kiro would be kneeling down next to Drasus. And Kiro never is one for lots of emotional words, even as he grows and changes. But would lay a hand on Drasus's heart and say, with tears in his eyes, "Thank you, friend. Rest. I'll see you soon."
What is the end for Kiro?
I think Kiro, once the three of you do eventually pass, because he makes
Are you
a
gonna
pact with
outlive
himself.
me?
Mm-hmm. He makes a pact
Ooh.
to stay alive past Morticia to make sure that not all of her friends go before her. Not all her friends leave.
Then because like Morty's probably not gonna go out in like a bang of combat, not gonna die on a deathbed, but probably just get like smushed or something really silly.
She just dies by being like, what, smushed under a dragon?
Honestly, it feels appropriate. And maybe like a day or two after it happens, you will receive a letter, Kiro. And it's written in Morty's scribbly, scratchy handwriting. There's like leaf juice and like dirt smears. It's very, very Morty. And it just says, "You were my best friend, but now it's time for my end, and I will not be the one to send my beautiful soul to descend, the pool that will blend my soul with all of my best friends. Thank you." And there's that leaf pin that you gave her.
Wow. I think Vincent gets that. Would Sunflower still be around, do you think, 400 years later?
Yeah, she would. She would.
I think Vincent would go take that letter to Sunflower. And I think when it's time, he wouldn't lay down in a bed and die necessarily. I think he would go out into the forest and draw on as much of his fey nature, druidic magic, and he would sort of transform himself where the last remaining essence of himself just becomes a tree. A beautiful tree.
Yes.
And rests.
Oh. And I think that's the end of the Reclamation project.
Thank you all for that beautiful ending and for the beautiful story that you all told over the course of these 10 sessions. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to pull back the curtain a little bit. And normally after every session, we typically do stars and wishes and kind of talk about our experience with the game and kind of download a little bit. I'd like to share part of that with our audience today. So as we reflect over all 10 sessions, what are some of the stars as you look back? If there's a highlight reel of this season, what are some of those things that would pop up for you?
Drasus and Kira, what was your name before?
Vincent.
And Vincent arguing. Sunflower trying to diffuse situations. Sunflower being, quite honestly, the true leader of our party and actually getting things done, talking to the NPCs, translating for us. Because that was very much, we can take that and replace it in many of all the scenes that we've done together, and I really, really enjoyed that kind of dynamic. That's what's gonna stay with me.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna think of Drasus, or Vincent calling Drasus young buck. Like, oh my god.
I will say, before we go any further, I want to stop and say, because Chris, thank you for facilitating this. This was
Seriously
such a beautiful adventure, and I think, I guess this can be one of my highlights, was your ability to weave an emotional story, continue a arc, and not push, but truly guide. Really, I think was such an important part for all of us to have the kind of characters that we did, to have the emotional character growth that we went through, because it's hard to have as much character growth as we did in 10 episodes, and you facilitated that perfectly. So thank you.
Well, thank you all. It was a pleasure to be able to be a part of this and help weave each of your stories together with you. So
yeah. I'll add on to this. In my highlight reel, I think one of the moments that really stood out to me and helped set the whole tone for everything was like when we were first talking, and I'm terrible with names, but the rock golem thing.
Dwayne.
And we found out about his wife, and that whole situation was like, okay, we're setting a tone for some emotional shit to go down here, and I gotta put myself in the ready for this. But it helped to I think help all of us play off each other, even like through comedy or like the bickering between Vincent and Drasus, to Morticia's antics, grabbing a bunch of glowing stones, that sort of thing. It was all just like these really cool moments. Like, you know, Jesus Christ, again, names. I struggle with this. Leona's character, Sunflower.
Oh, yes.
Touching the anvil. Like, that was a whole thing. I was like, so all of this just is like, it stands out in my head, and I'm like, yeah, I very much enjoyed this, and I thank you, Chris. I've learned stuff from you. Just to add on to that, I've learned stuff from you that I will bring into my games.
That is high praise. Thank you.
Very much so. Yeah, I will say some of the stuff that stands out to me is, gosh, Morty. I just everything that Morty did was just so great, and like was such a great I can't think of the right word, just this foil to these three very serious characters,
very mature characters,
and not that Morty wasn't a serious character, because I put this in chat, and I don't know if you saw this, but I have to say this to your face, B. But your ability to go from silly to like really deep seamlessly is really, I don't know that I've ever seen someone do it better. It's really really impressive. So y'all hire B. But
just to piggyback on that, I also want to point out that your timing to sprinkle in levity is impeccable.
That's well practiced.
It is a skill. Not everybody can time a joke in a serious situation to actually provide levity. Sometimes it's just a disruption. You provided levity to those circumstances, and it was awesome.
Thank you.
And much needed. Like you're just
Definitely.
the perfect balance.
Yeah, I'm used to having to play that role, and it felt good to not have to do it because I wanted this character to be sort of like what he was. And you're fantastic.
Y'all allowed me to play that character because of the people you were as well. Like, because of the maturity and the seriousness and the responsibility that everybody had like hoisted on their shoulders, it just made Morty that much easier to be her own amorphous little blobby bubble. So thank you all for your wonderful characters being a foil, or letting Morty be the foil to them.
Yeah, and chat, if you have any questions about the show or our characters or any of the behind the scenes stuff, feel free to ask.
I definitely will never forget Tekwar. I think Tekwar was such an emotional touchstone for Sunflower. And I didn't even realize it, at the time. But like every time that Tekwar kept being brought up, it would hit me so deep because he just became this touchstone of like, I don't know. Every time we would come and face him, I was just like overwhelmed with emotion because he was so important. Not entirely sure how to even explain why, but he was just so important.
Yeah, the way that Chris crafted that NPC just made them feel real and important to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was so human, I think, and that's what really did it, I think. And I think that's what made that bond for Sunflower very, very strong with him. I really loved how we broke D&D. I really loved that as we leveled up, were able to just kind of take the things that felt fitting. Like I and when we started, I was like, oh, I'm sure I'll just keep going with Clockwork Sorcerer all the way, and then, went, oh no, wait, Clockwork Sorcerer doesn't allow her to heal. It doesn't allow her to fix the wrong that she's done, and she really wants to do that. So I think she needs a little peace cleric in her, and being able to have that flexibility of like pulling from wherever was needed was just really freaking cool. I really love that.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions. Was I know that I played fast and loose with some of the mechanics in order to facilitate a specific type of story, and I wanted to know if that worked for y'all or if there were any parts of it that didn't. So,
well, and that ties in really great with Stellatrix just asked this question. That says, I'm actually interested to know how much of the whole multi-classing thing was planned, because that was a super neat way to incorporate it as part of the characters. And I will say, I loved how you let us level up, I guess you could kind of say it, because it wasn't always truly leveling. But like, so for Vincent, I started as an undead warlock, right? And then one of the levels up, I started pulling from druid feats as opposed, and Chris let me use those as invocations as opposed to regular warlock invocations. And then as we started to like progress with the story, I was like, it would like, what would happen if I just instead of multi-classing, I literally traded all of my warlock levels for druid levels, and Chris let me do that. And so and that wasn't originally planned. I wasn't sure where he was gonna go.
Yeah, so. I think we all knew from the get-go that like we had the option to multi-class. So like, originally I made Ophelia's character sheet as a level 19 Clockwork Soul sorcerer who could do all kinds of wild stuff. But I wasn't sure where Sunflower herself would go. Like I figured she'd probably stick with that for a while, but no, picking Peace Cleric became a very narrative-based choice. Like I knew I had basically the entirety of D&D available to me, and it was just kind of up to me to figure out what felt right to pull from, and that was kind of what felt the most right to pull from for Sunflower.
I mean, on my end, I played it mostly straight up. I just multi-classed into Blood Hunter, which I did not plan on from the start. I honestly thought that Drasus was just going to stick to almost the same path, essentially, but it changed once this whole situation changed, because Drasus essentially, once he found out about what was going on with Kuro, it changed his path, because he thought, I can help my friends by being able to track down the evils that haunt them. And
Oh, I like that.
That was sort of what was into the Blood Hunter idea. And that just happened because my original character sheet was just a 20th level fighter samurai.
Dang. I didn't realize that. That's something I almost wish I'd peeked everybody's character sheets beforehand, although I think we had talked about them loosely.
Mm-hmm.
I was just your basic rogue, Way of the Shadow, I think. I don't know. I asked my little brother to make my character, and he did. So thank you, Tanner.
I think it's called a Phantom Rogue. Is the
Yeah,
subclass?
Phantom
Okay.
Yeah, Phantom.
Which was really cool, but it wasn't what Morticia was anymore. So as we played out this story, it was really cool to see how the characters were changing and what that meant mechanically. Because I also really wanted to multi-class, but then as soon as I got the option to just switch out moves, it made so much more sense. I wanted one of my level 9 rogue moves, but I was level 9. I had put like 3 points into Bard, and also Bard. I've never played a Bard in my life because I have a bad taste in my mouth because of them.
Mm-hmm.
I associate them with like just people who want to like romance NPCs all the time, and I know that's a stereotype, but still. It was very nice to play a class that I had kind of kept at arm's length and to have fun with it. Well, y'all were like doing little things up here. I'm over here like looking at rhyme.com to feel like, okay, what rhymes with friend?
And I love that playfulness that you brought in with the Bard levels. The first time you took a Bard level, I was a little surprised because, again, I have very much the same, at least in 5th edition D&D, the same kind of like idea in my head that they're very gregarious, that they're very much this like romantic kind of suave character. And while there is charisma that just exudes from Morticia, it didn't line up with that stereotype, and yet the way you played it, just it felt natural. And so I, especially that first inspiration that Morty gave out,
Vincent.
Yeah, it set the tone for what Bard was going to mean to Morticia right from there, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I'm really happy that it was successful in the way I wanted to present it too.
Well, and I think that goes to show, like, it's so easy in D&D, in like how the D&D meta frames a lot of different things, right? That we don't have to fall into that, which I think, Chris, you set that standard, right? You set the standard of like, hey, he made these. Oh, I could actually pull them up probably. He made these really cool like the sheets for our items and stuff like that for us. Like gave us extra stuff when we first started.
The background, the recording background,
the map.
Chris created some amazing homebrew stuff for us. We had like a background. We all had our own items.
So like this was mine. Oh, that's so little.
Oh no.
There we go. Like, so this is what we all got this, and so he took like our subclasses and built it all into these items, and and gave us like I don't remember where it is, but there was a bunch of extra stuff. Like we got extra proficiencies because we had all like lived this other life, like all this sorts of stuff. And so like Chris setting the standard for us to be like, we don't have to be. The rules of D&D are tools to tell the story, as opposed to the story is a tool to use the mechanics of D&D.
Can we talk about our legendary items, like our signature items, for like 30 seconds? Because I want to know, like, where everyone's items were, because
Yeah.
like I almost forgot for a second that we had these, but they're
Yes.
very cool, and Chris put a lot of work into customizing them. So tell me what yours is, Stephen. Let's go around.
Oh, I just put yours up on the
Oh.
list because you.
Well,
Look at that. Anime cane. Oh yeah, you used that pretty early on.
Mm-hmm. I use the Animus Cane, but I have the countervail apparatus up on the stream right now.
that's me. I am the countervail
Oh.
apparatus. It's a clockwork iron stone, basically, and it was able to hold extra spells. I never got a chance to actually use that feature, but I loved that feature. And it was what Sunflower was clutching when her a mechanical body.
Mhm.
When her mechanical body was found, she was found clutching this countervail apparatus, and it's just stayed with her, just kind of circling around her head the entire time, because it's just
Kind of like an Aeon stone
yeah,
Cool.
or Iron
okay.
stone.
iron stone. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that's where her magic kind of like lives, is in this little clockwork device, and that's kind of, you know, also kind of a bit of Ophelia that like lingered with her.
Yeah.
And there's more legend and lore to that. I mean, the item itself is connected to the plane of Mechanus, and it was something we didn't get into, but the connections to the planes are reappearing across Evastria, and that's something that Stephen's been showing up or having show up in the main show and other these side shows that are going, or mini campaigns that are going along. And so I tried to layer in some of that there.
Mhm.
And if we needed to take a look at it, there's that piece. And it actually connects back to who would have been the ruler, depending on how canon Evastria is to the D&D lore, whether or not they're dead or not. But it was their connection to magic. And so it's this conduit to Mechanus that allows all of this magic to be available for Sunflower.
Okay. Next one. I'm skulking Adam Bratus.
Yeah,
That's
Adam
where
Bratus.
we got Adam's name.
Mhm.
Because Adam Bratus is a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
So they just became known as Adam, and Adam is my shadow. And Adam was also my magical item, which was my favorite integration, because not only were they narratively crucial, they were mechanically crucial. A lot of the sneak attacks that I was successful in when we were doing combat was because Adam would fill the space of another creature. I didn't need my physical allies to go in there to get that advantage bonus, and I really, really loved that fact.
And I worked that kind of thing into it specifically because of that separation from the rest of society that had happened to Morticia through her history, and that she had this deep connection to what ended up being like a splinter of Morticia, part of herself that disassociated to kind of protect her. And so it was doing things that would help protect and help enhance what Morticia was doing. And I felt like that was a perfect way to kind of demonstrate that, to show up and provide flanking bonuses and to layer in the story into the mechanics without being ham-fisted about it.
No, it felt very good to me, and somebody who doesn't often read the rules, it worked comfortably with what I was comfortable reading, you know?
Then I think you had two, right? Prince, Relentless,
Yeah.
The Edge of Fury.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought
Well-
you just had the one sword.
One grew with him. The other one was his reskinned Belt of Giant Strength.
Yeah.
And I was working on trying to do that with
Oh.
everybody's, but I just didn't really get to the same level of story on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the Belt of the Nephilim was cool. because it allowed me to fail more on my dice rolls.
Neat.
so, so one of the things that I thought, when they say the dice tell a story in games, I think that was really the case with Drasus a lot, especially in the early games, because I could not do anything.
You rolled so bad in those early games.
It was so bad, and actually, to me, it helped me tell a better story with the characters. Like, I'm a dude who's been sitting on his butt basically for the last 30 years or so, and now I'm just suddenly trying to like get back out and adventure, and it's just not working.
Perfect.
And so I never took it as like, oh my god. I mean, sometimes it was like annoying in a little way, but I always thought it was kind of cool. And so the belt has an ability to let me take another regular action on my turn, and so that was like
That was so
why
useful.
I got a lot of chances. And then the sword was really where the story was, the relentless, the edge of fury, because that was very much tied to Drasus, because it was basically a sword he had, but once it broke in his fight with Sumac, that was when the story really behind the sword was born, because it was tied to them both. It shattered during the battle with Sumac and somehow absorbed part of his being into it. And that weighed on Drasus, just having his son with him and not knowing how to release him. That really helped build into that moment at the end with the sword being reforged. Was like, that was heavy. That was heavy.
Headcanon for me, one of the reasons that Sumac got stuck there was because of the conflict between father and son in that circumstance, and the fact that the planes had been cut off, and so the afterlife works a little different with Evastria. His soul could not move on, and until that resolution happened. And that's how you get a lot of ghosts in D&D anyway, and in a lot of folklore, is the souls are there because they have something unresolved. And it just seemed like a great kind of way to take something that we see familiar across a lot of stories and make it our own.
And yeah, that, like, I love how you worked with me on that to build that into the whole thing, because like I just had this idea. I thought my son, his soul got stuck in a sword. I don't know what else to go with that. and working with Chris to like make that really pop in the game, like, was fantastic.
Thank you for running with our crazy ideas, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, just me being like, I don't know, I was this crazy sorcerer, and then I got turned into a warforged because she went to a hag and made the hag angry. Like, like, what was this ridiculous concept that I came up with, and you just ran with it.
That's one of the things that over the years that I've gotten better at, and it took practice, and it took a certain. Actually, I'll just tell you right now. It took GMing or storytelling for Vampire the Masquerade live action, when you can't really, when you've got 35 players, you can't really control the story in the way that you can at a table. You have a much more tenuous grip on things, and so I learned to control what I can, and to just run with everything else that comes up and find ways to make them matter. Because that's the thing. Like, you can say yes but if it doesn't have any value to the story, it's just there. It's just window dressing. And not everything has to be earth-shattering, but you can tie it in. So the Animus Cane, which it needs to be completely redone because it doesn't really fit the new version of your character, Stephen. But tell us about where it started.
Yeah, so it started with so actually this will be fun. This whole campaign started because I tweeted one time, something, I don't even remember exactly what it was like a warlock who is basically fighting his patron and like gaining levels to fight back against his patron. And who had like I don't remember the specifics, but it ended up Vincent.
It was a warlock who lost their magic because they broke their pact and was now trying to figure out what to do next.
Yes. So that's how this whole campaign started. I just tweeted that one time months ago. And so Vincent was born from that, this idea of this character who worked for this really bad patron for a long time, greatly extended his life force, and then at some point broke his pact. And we didn't even really specify what the pact was, except that Vincent went and stole his soul back. And that was the cane. Vincent's soul was literally like in the cane. And so I chose the pact of the talisman, and the cane was the talisman, so I actually could have given it to one of y'all. But Vincent would never do that. And so all of his magic was coming from him channeling through his soul. And so then in my mind, it's sort of Vincent made a Horcrux. Exactly. And so then like transitioning that into this like life magic was like this life druidic magic replaced his soul as it re-entered himself. Oh
my gosh.
So yeah, so that's where it came from. And so originally, because all he knew was this magic from his patron, that's where all this magic was based around that. And then it transitions. So yeah.
Dang.
Could also call it Christmas.
Yeah, wow, boo.
Well, do we have any last questions or anything like that?
I don't think so. Just like my heartfelt thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to the audience. You guys have been wonderful. You've shown up weekly at a time that I wasn't 100% sure what kind of numbers we would see. And it was just really good to be able to see people show up and interact and enjoy the story we told.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yep. So one last time, why don't y'all say where you can be found? Let's start with Prince this time.
Everybody, I'm Prince, also known as Doubles and Dice around the internet. You can find me at Doubles and Dice, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. I am a TTRPG/variety streamer. Next thing you'll catch me on is on Saturday. Oh no, Friday. I am going to be on a podcast live stream. I'm trying to think of all the things because there's a ton. I am also going to be on a charity stream for
Jasper's Kingdom?
No, it is for POCs with autism. Over on Blood Thread Shear's channel, we're going to be doing a one-shot of Monster of the Week. So you can check out my Twitter. I have details up that I've retweeted on that. I am also over on Vancouver by Night on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are closing in our finale on that one. So this is, I believe, the episode before the finale. So do come and watch that. And then over on Rolling These 20s, where I'm the storyteller for Philly by Night, another Vampire the Masquerade game. That one is walking fast towards a TPK. And all of my players know this is potentially a TPK situation, and yet they still walk into it. So that is going to be absolutely phenomenal for me as a storyteller to have the okay to potentially kill off all of my players.
It feels nice.
And then on Sundays, you can catch me over on my channel, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, for my D&D campaign, Wayward Revelry, which is a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign. and over on Gehenna Gaming for Strixhaven at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's it for now. There's more stuff coming.
Leona.
Hello, I'm Leanna. You can find me on Twitter at the Leanna Maple, and that is the best place to keep up with where on earth I am and what on earth I'm doing. I am your friendly neighborhood intersectionality consultant. I make your whatever you're working on a little bit more DEI friendly, make sure it's a little bit more kinder to the world. And the next place you can find me, I think it's probably on the Misfits the Space podcast. Because that's been a thing that's been going on for a while, and I always forget to shout them out. Not because I don't love them, I'm just a very forgetful human being. So, you can see me hear me playing Scum and Villainy on the Misfits the Space podcast anytime you like on your favorite podcast thingamajig. That's all I got. Huge love to this crew. Thank you, audience. Y'all have been incredible for showing up so loudly and vibrantly every single episode. When Chris approached me and was like, "Do you want to play D&D?" I was like, "Oh, I really don't want to play D&D, honestly." But then Chris was like, "Well, actually, here's the concept," and I was like, "Oh no, there's no way I can miss out on this. I don't even care that this is 9 a.m. my time. I have to be here for this," and I am so thankful and so grateful that I got to go on this journey with each of you. Like I will never forget this, and it's gonna hold such a dear place in my heart for the rest of my life, honestly. Like
same. Chris.
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me for to the end of the story arc that we're currently on, lovingly called Mushroom Madness, over on the Hype Goblin channel on Sunday mornings starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, as I'm guesting on their show. And then you can check out at Omens Rising as soon as for updates. Kind of keep an eye there. We've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now, so not a whole lot to share, but it will be a fun ride, and so keep an eye out for what we're doing.
And B.
Woo! Hello all, as always, I have been your non-binary Busy Bee. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. For streaming, I have the finale of Power Play coming up. We are up against the Alpha Combine, which is a very scary alien race that has invaded Earth for like a month while we were busy time traveling, so consequences. I'm also starting up the game. It's like Pride and Prejudice, Good Society.
Good Society, yeah.
I'll be playing Good Society on the Roll For It channel bi-weekly starting April 30th. I'm the downstairs crew. I get to be a hall boy, which means I wear cute suspenders and clean up after other people's shit. But I also like to listen to drama and gossip, so it's gonna be something. I have a butt ton of charity streams. I literally just have 2 events in my calendar that just says charity stream. So what they are, who they're with, we will learn together.
This is so relatable.
Oh my god,
so relatable.
I don't know what they are.
You'll figure it out.
So yeah, no big deal. No big deal at all. The ones that I do have listed is I'll be doing a Jasper's Game Day on April 12th, May 12th, and a
time travel, cool.
Right? I do love time travel. And I got Streampunks. They're doing like a charity day, and I've agreed to show up at some point on that Saturday. Otherwise, I'm a podcaster. You can find me on Anime Attaché, The Broadswords, 12-Sided Stories. You can hear my voice on some of the Faeforge episodes. 1, 2, who knows? It's a mystery.
4, 2?
You'll
have to listen.
Probably.
At least 2.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you did 2 sessions with us or 1 session with us.
You're asking me to go back in time in my memory.
Oh, I know.
Not happening.
Ooh, dear.
We're the ADHD group. Not happening.
No. I've also done some writing. I recently got the hardcover book of Tears of a Machine, where I recorded the rules as an audiobook, which is really cool, and that's coming out soon. So just give me a follow is at B_Zelda, and stay tuned to all the fabulous jazz that I can connect you to.
That's super cool. And I'm Steven. I am the producer of this show, the DM of most of the stuff that happens on the Faeforge Academy. You can find me on the Twitters at @the_baddm. Mostly doing Faeforge stuff and anime attaché stuff. So if you like talking about anime, check that out.
Yes.
If you like this world that we've been building, this is a canon story in the Faeforge Academy world, the world of Evastria, and other planes. But we have this one. We have 3 other mini campaigns on YouTube. Prince and Bee were actually in one of those, which was a Sky Pirate campaign, which was super fun. And we've done some other ones, and we have episodes that come out every Friday. And our lovely friends, some of them are currently in hell, some of them are in a demi-plane with some shadow people that are trying to, murder them, like they do. And it's a lot of fun. So with that, we're gonna raid Dungeons and Dragons because there's lots of information happening over there. And
Spelljammer confirmed.
Yeah, Spelljammer
so
confirmed.
somebody's going to be doing gay pirates in space.
Yeah. Dragonlance also confirmed.
Dragonlance for all you OG fans. I used to read those books when I was a kid.
Amazing. And with that, one last time with this crew, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Cast members, thanks for doing this. This has been such a privilege. Y'all are so talented. So make sure y'all are following these 4 wonderful humans. And my family's about to add another human to our crew. So this channel might be kind of quiet for the near future, but there will be stuff that keeps coming. The podcast will keep happening. Tiny Poison in chat and I are going to be playing Baldur's Gate tomorrow. So
there was an announcement for that too.
Oh no.
I don't know what it was. But...
I do believe they're just talking about the actual release date for it.
Oh, so it's not just in beta.
Amazing. And with that, we'll see y'all on the internet.
All right, wave goodbye.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.